Hey everyone, and a massive welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are taking 40, yes, 40 major global news stories that are making headlines right now and synthesizing them into one clear, structured breakdown. No noise, no confusion, just pure, understandable insights as we connect the dots across the globe.
To keep things simple and avoid information overload, we've broken all this down into 5 buckets: global security and tensions, world economy and markets, tech, space, and the future, climate and health alerts, and finally, sports and entertainment updates. Let's get right into it.
Starting us off with Section 1, Global Security and Tensions.
So, Russia has officially proposed a ceasefire talk. But, as you might expect, there's been some massive diplomatic pushback. Ukraine and several European Union leaders remain highly skeptical about this. They're citing a profound lack of trust and are really questioning the serious intentions behind the peace proposal. It is an incredibly complex diplomatic standoff where words and trust are clearly at odds.
And these global security issues, they're totally interconnected. We're seeing rising nuclear and military friction between the US and Iran. In response to the pressure, Iran is actively demanding new diplomatic talks to try and ease existing sanctions. At the exact same time, the United States is ramping up its domestic surveillance to monitor potential terror threats. And amidst all this tension brewing, Australia is trying to stabilize the global stage by steering the upcoming G7 focus heavily toward trade and the economy.
Now, if we look over at Asia, the friction is really building. North Korea is back in the headlines with renewed missile testing, and that's happening right alongside increasing military activity between China and Taiwan. Because of all this regional instability, Japan is stepping up and officially raising its military defense budget to prepare for any fallout. It's a direct chain reaction.
And that geopolitical friction bleeds directly into Section 2, World Economy and Markets. Right now, the global financial climate is just a massive mixed bag. Over in Europe, France is battling a severe energy crisis and holding high-level strategy meetings, while Germany struggles with a tough new inflation report. But on the flip side, the UK economy is actually showing signs of a slow but steady recovery. Zooming out to the broader picture, global stocks remain entirely mixed, and Bitcoin is doing what Bitcoin does best, experiencing intense, unpredictable price fluctuations. We're also watching major powers rapidly expand their economic footprints. Take China, for example. They're deploying a very progressive two-step strategy right now. First, they're pouring broad investments into various Latin American countries. And second, they've drawn up targeted plans with Brazil specifically to significantly boost their bilateral business and export volumes. It's a highly strategic global expansion. But China definitely isn't the only one building bridges. India and Australia are actively forging a stronger business and trade alliance of their own. It just goes to show how economic partnerships are constantly shifting and solidifying all over the map.
Okay, let's switch gears and lift the energy a bit for Section 3, Tech, Space, and the Future.
Because honestly, the pace of human advancement right now is just staggering. Artificial intelligence and autonomous safety are completely dominating the tech space. We've just seen major leaks regarding Apple's highly anticipated AI features, while Google pushes forward with newly improved AI search capabilities. And over in the auto world, Tesla's self-driving safety is under rigorous investigation right now. AI isn't some distant future anymore, folks. It is the immediate present.
And speaking of the future, we've got to talk about space, because the modern space race is hitting some massive milestones. NASA is officially preparing its astronauts for the Artemis mission, which will finally send humanity back to the vicinity of the moon. And right alongside that, Elon Musk's SpaceX just announced the date for their next rocket launch. The momentum in aerospace technology is simply incredible right now. But while we look up to the stars, we've got to keep our feet firmly planted on the ground. Moving into Section 4, Climate and Health Alerts. Because this is the big question on everyone's mind in a post-pandemic world. How exactly are global health agencies responding to new viral threats? Let's take a look at the data coming in this week.
While global health dashboards are definitely flashing red, rare hantavirus cases have triggered immediate alerts, and a disease outbreak on a cruise ship has multiple countries rigorously checking passengers. In response to all this, global health agencies are scrambling to plan tracking systems for future diseases. Meanwhile, the planet itself is sounding alarms. The U.S. just issued some really dangerous storm warnings. The Pacific region is dealing with a severe cyclone alert, which completely underscores why the official date for the next major climate change summit was just urgently announced.
All right, let's take a breath, lift the pace, and look at some cultural events bringing us all together. Section 5, Sports and Entertainment Updates. I want to put a massive spotlight on the year 2026 for a second. It is shaping up to be an absolute blockbuster year for global entertainment. Security and extra police are already being prepped for the heavily secured 2026 FIFA World Cup, and superstar Shakira has actually already dropped a teaser for a new World Cup song. Plus, looking over to Europe, 2026 is also the year the famous Eurovision singing competition heads to Vienna. And we've got a ton of quick-fire updates for you this week. The stage is completely set for the Champions League final, and the French Open tennis draws are officially locked. We're seeing intense competition everywhere. The England women's cricket team narrowly defeated New Zealand in an absolute thriller of a match. The World Athletics relays are tearing up the tracks in Botswana, and the World Climbing Series just kicked off. On an individual level, boxer Anthony Joshua is making a highly anticipated return to the ring, and China's Wu Yuzi was just crowned snooker champion. But it's not all cheers. Behind the scenes in entertainment, Hollywood writers and studios remain deadlocked in intense salary discussions amidst their ongoing strike.
So, from Hollywood strikes to space races and some very high-stakes geopolitics, our world is clearly more interconnected than ever. But I want to end this explainer with a really broad, powerful appeal from the United Nations, who are urging all countries to maintain peace. After looking at the intense military tensions we discussed at the start, that plea feels incredibly urgent. So I'll leave you with this final thought. In a world moving this fast, driven by new AI and shifting global alliances, will our diplomatic ties be strong enough to answer the UN's call? Thanks so much for tuning in. Keep questioning the world around you, and I'll see you in the next explainer.